Hello, everyone. I will continue talking about the Hey on our episodes. This one about Helga getting a nanny. The episode starts with Helga eating a donut for breakfast until Big Ball comes in to declare that with his wife Miriam starting her community service, that Helga needs a nanny. Helga is naturally against this, but as she is her child, her father has the final say as to what's going to happen. The nanny's name is Inga, and she shows up just before he leaves. Right at the start, Inga is starting to assert herself into Helga's life, telling her what to do from eating fresh bread with jam that she made for her instead of donuts, and telling Helga how she wants her to dress. I will admit I'm like Helga with the way I'm dressed, as I don't care for how I wear my clothes. I don't think kids care what I'm dressed like anyway. Helga didn't have a choice, as at the end she went to school looking like Inga. She even wore the flower, which is probably decided to keep when Arnold complimented her for it. As she and her friends were about to play baseball, Inga shows up since Helga did not return home like she was supposed to. Reading between the lines, it's clear that Inga really has Helga's best interests, as she stated that she has prepared for Helga nutritious food, as well as wanting Helga to practice knitting since it's a good stress reliever. Helga is trying to tell her no, but Inga wins in the end, and she even got Helga friends liking her. It becomes clear that Inga is the best person that everyone who's associated with Helga has ever had, as she made food from her country. They even bit ball loves to giving delicious cake to her friends. Once Arnold complimented Inga, Helga has enough. She begins her classic montage of sabotage on Inga. Helga went from pouring paste on Bob's favorite chair to burning good food and even messing up the laundry, and in each of those situations, Inga managed to fix them. This is clearly not her first rodeo with a troubled child who is constantly feigning accidental innocence. Helga final acts getting Inga fired as she hid Big Ball's favorite belt under Inga's bed to accuse the woman of being a thief. Once Big Ball let Inga go, Helga celebrates her victory. Too bad for Helga, her friends didn't feel the same as they walked away from her when she gleefully told them what she did to Inga. Helga also starting to see the consequences of what she brought as her home's getting dirty. Without Inga, who had made sure it was in top condition, Helga even has a nightmare about Inga, who's reduced to eating either a birdseed or breadcrumbs, and Inga now has it on her record that she's a thief. People are not willing to hire her anymore to make money. Helga found Inga in the park, but unlike in her dream, this is no shivering Inga, but Inga who seems okay as she is knitting. Helga begins to break down her guilt after Inga confirms to Helga that her record is forever tarnished. She knows that Helga planted that belt to get her into trouble, and since it's too late for Helga to confess, Inga decided to lead Helga with some words that Helga needed to hear. That what she did is no excuse. There is some consequence to what Helga did, and the best line that she threw at Helga is that Helga is an angry girl who won't let anybody help her, and that Helga must now live with her own unhappiness. You gotta give Inga credit for not telling on Helga to her parents, especially since the girl actually pretty much ruined her reputation and ended her career in the United States. The episode ends with Helga receiving a postcard for Inga, who reveals she went back home to her country. It gives her the biggest gut punch, as it says that Inga hopes that everything had returned to the way it was for Helga prior to Inga entering into her life. Therefore, the consequences. Same family who was miserable, but now she realized that woman was one of the few adults outside her family that truly cared about her, and that she did not realize how good she had until it was gone. The episode ends with Helga knitting, the thing that Inga wanted to share with her. My final thoughts on the episode is that I like the writers not needing to end every episode on a happy note. I get where Helga's coming from, since I don't like it when someone who isn't family tries to assert some authority in me when I don't know them or when they try to control the things that makes me happy. Unlike Inga though, I never had any respect for that person, and they show their true self later on. At least Inga wanted the best for Helga, since she made her homemade food, something that Helga's not often used to, as Miriam is portrayed horribly in this episode. Miriam acted like she wanted to be anywhere else except for at home, and it really made me angry to see her act like that. It's like if she wants to have a life of her own, minus her taking Bob's job, then do whatever she can to make herself happy, even if it means defying Big Bob, instead of drinking herself stupid just to escape the life that she doesn't want. Too bad Inga couldn't at least try to talk to Helga to at least have her understand her point of view as why she wanted Helga to eat and dress better. Maybe the girl could have lightened up eventually. She could have been the parental figure that Helga really needed to improve. Helga really blew it since Inga gave her everything she could possibly want in a home. The consequences had gone so bad she never paid attention to what Inga was giving her, being a parental figure for her, making home cooked meals instead of relying on snacks, having someone to teach her discipline, to even someone who was willing to teach her new skills. Helga at least deserves to hear the truth about herself at the end. If she wants, she can try to do something about it while there is still time. That's all I want to say. Please like and subscribe to the channel for more.